played a lot of different sports growing up, football, basketball, lacrosse, hockey, baseball. I did karate. I wrestled. I was pretty active growing up. I decided to play lacrosse in college because of the people around me growing up. A couple of mentors of mine. Some family members were really involved in the game around the state of New Hampshire, and it was just a growing game. I really enjoyed playing it, and went to prep school, and that's where I got recruited, and that's how I decided to start playing. When did I know I wanted to be a coach? Probably at least thought about coaching when I was in high school. I used to help out with the local Papa Warner team in my town. Did some summer coaching while I was in college, coached some lacrosse during the summer, but really didn't know that I wanted to be a coach until it was brought to my attention by my head coach, Coach Bugby. He asked me to come back and do 2 years of grad school and be a GA, and it just seemed like a great opportunity, and that's kind of how I discovered that I really wanted to do it. Those 2 years at Springfield really, made it easy for me to make a decision on what my career path wanted to be. My favorite memory as a coach, I can't say that I don't have a lot of them. I do. There's a lot of great memories that you make every single day being a coach. I'd have to say my favorite is there's probably two. 2 years ago, the team went on a run towards the end of the season. We really started to put things together from a culture standpoint, but we also started to put things together on the field. We had a tough loss to Springfield in overtime, and then we had a comeback win a couple days later against Babson, which was big, and then going down to Clark on a Saturday and beating Clark and getting the 3 seed in the NEWMAC tournament was really special. I enjoyed that with that team. And then competing and going to double overtime with Springfield in the NEWMAC semifinals. The second would have to be this year, our last game of the season against Curry. We all knew that most likely that was going to be our last time together as a team, at least our last game together. And I really just loved being on the sidelines with the guys. We got to play everybody. We had a couple seniors who hadn't played in a game yet that were coming back from injury. They got to play in at least one game. We honored our seniors. We played very well. And obviously as a coach, that's great to see. But just the atmosphere before the game and after the game, it was pretty special. And then following up that day with our last practice and just being out there and enjoying being around the guys and being around the other coaches and just kind of enjoying that moment of being together with the team and, having that family bond. It was nice. Being a part of the NEWMAC as a player and as a coach, obviously, as a player, it was a lot of fun. We had some competitive games in the league. Like I said, winning 4 conference titles in a row was obviously pretty special. And then 2 more as an assistant coach at Springfield. And then coming back as the head coach of MIT now and seeing the growth of our conference and just the competitive nature of every single conference game, is going to be, you're going to have a great game. All the teams have grown a lot. The game of lacrosse has grown, but everybody has got great players. We've got a lot of great coaches. So that every single day that you play a conference opponent, that you got to buckle up and it's going to be a great game. I love the fact that we're all competing and now we're seeing some of our conference opponents and ourselves playing at a national level and playing these teams and getting some of these victories. It's awesome. Why MIT? I think MIT, the name, it definitely speaks for itself. It definitely pops out when you see the name as one of the best universities, institutions in the world. And my initial thought of MIT was that's a great place where you're going to get a great education. But at the same time, you definitely can go there. You can recruit. And when you're recruiting, you're kind of recruiting the top tier, right? That you have to be a special, student athlete to get into MIT. And my first thought was I would love to go coach those special athletes and be a part of that. My coaching philosophy, my coaching philosophy is, I'm a big believer in accountability. I try to hold myself, my players, my staff accountable. And, I really try to preach team, making sure that everything that we're doing, whether it's myself, my staff, the players, our support staff, everything is based off of doing what's best for the team. I think I'm a fair coach. I would say I'm pretty intense, but I am fair. I do like to develop a good relationship with my players and make sure that they know that, I'm there for them and I do have their back. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. And a typical practice for us is pretty up tempo. Like I said, I like to make sure that we're having a lot of energy and having high intensity practices and competing. I think competition within the team is what makes you better. So, I would say most of the time we're having pretty high energy, pretty high tempo practices. Obviously, when it's time to, kind of pull it back a little bit when we're getting ready for opponents and we need to scheme and things like that, the tempo can kind of maybe go down a little bit, but we always like to keep a high intensity, high tempo practice and making sure that we're always competing. That's what makes it a great team competition. Why should you choose MIT? Obviously, you're going to come to a place where you're going to get a great education, and the opportunities at MIT are endless. From research to internships to clubs and a lot of extracurriculars that you can join. Right. Not only that, but you're going to meet tons and tons of people from around the world. You're going to have the opportunity to have a lot of different friends and different friend groups. Also just the people, right? The staff, all the coaches, all the professors. It's a big community, but they make you feel right at home. And I think from the perspective of a student athlete, I think our facilities are top notch. And, as far as the athletics go and men's lacrosse, tons of support from all around other teams, other staff members. And obviously I feel like MIT men's lacrosse is going in the right direction in the conference, in the NUMAC. And we're trying to build something special. Favorite movie, I would say I have a couple, but probably if I'm flipping to the channels and Wedding Crashers is on, I probably have to take some time to sit down and enjoy Wedding Crashers. Favorite album or favorite artist, if I was to get in the car and needed to just listen to some music to put me in a good mood, I would have to probably say is Jay-Z. To relax, obviously, I love to hang out with friends and hang out with my family, be around my family. Golf is very relaxing to me at times, so I enjoy playing golf. And honestly, just kind of taking time to just kind of hang out on the deck, or just be with friends and family and relax and kind of take it easy. One of my favorite quotes, I would have to say, is by Ric Flair. To be the man, you got to beat the man.